to Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. There's basketball. There was football yesterday, and there's college basketball again today. We're going to start with college basketball discussion of the men's basketball algorithm here. And then we're going to go into some NFL talk about the Tuesday night game. Gosh, there's football all the time, right? But let's talk about the results from the college basketball algorithm from Tuesday the 8th. We went 19-9. A lot of teams that haven't played very many games. Like first game for Tennessee this season. A lot of new stuff going on. Not that great overall, but what we care about is we like home teams, right? Whenever it picks the home team as the team that has the higher marginal win percentage here. These are all marginal win percentages above zero, so it picks all these teams to win the game. 19-9 is respectable, but not all that great. Well, what about home teams? 13-1. This is what I've been talking about since we started doing this. Look at our home team record this season. Okay, the A through the whole third. 78-8. We are 91% accurate on our home team predictions. That's freaking crazy. Anyway, a lot of those huge favorites, of course, but still just funny to look at. So yeah, 13-1. The only one that loses is Virginia Tech to Penn State. And they were heavily favored, but also was way down here. So anyway, that's kind of cool. Interesting things here. Were there any really good lines that it picked up on that it won with? Well, I mean, I guess things that it won with, you could sort this descending by money line. And I'll show you the ones that it won that were the biggest, like Morgan State, which was a very small marginal win percentage here, but they were plus 310, and apparently they won. This plus 155, this Illinois over Duke, that was a good one that it had. That was way up there. This one, plus 120, Campbell over Jacksonville. Let's look at the wins and the losses to see what we lost. Oh, yeah, see, it's not all good. Tennessee State lost to Belmont. Texas El Paso loses to Mount St. Mary's. These are huge lines because the algorithm is so distorted because there's just not enough stats yet. So anyway, keep that in mind. That's why this is really the best way to look at it. I've been doing this for a while. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the best way to look at it. And really picking home teams is what you want to do. Was there anything reasonable? There was a minus 148. There was a minus 310 and a minus 245 that lost. So really, there weren't very many home ones to bet, even though you went 13-1. It's still kind of tough. Anyway, that being said, let's talk about today, which is the 9th, Wednesday. I have some games here, and what's cool to look at, some of these teams have played more. So many games today. There's 37 games that I've been able to grab lines for. So when you sort this descending, there's a lot to choose from today, right? So the goal of the algorithm is to be able to say, all right, here's a bunch of games. I haven't watched any of them, but based on all of these stats, I grabbed current player stats tonight. I grabbed the current injury report, so I'm pulling injured players out. I refreshed the standings to everything, took a look at everything, grabbed all the current odds, throw it in here. This is how this thing works. It actually doesn't take very long, believe it or not. It's just really putting in the scores from the previous night that's the most annoying. But other than that, it's just like this. You refresh, and here's what you do. You're like, all right, well, we know that the team with the higher marginal win percentage is better. Well, we want only home teams because we want to pick winners. And we want reasonable money lines and high win percentages. So when you go down the list, you see that Tulane over Southern Miss, huge, very nice, minus 300, very nice, right? Minus 480 isn't even that bad for Richmond over Northern Iowa. That's pretty bad, though. Minus 300 all the way up here, though, that's pretty good for a minus 300. Here's minus 200, Louisiana, Monroe, and Lamar, but they have a low power percentage. Keep that in mind. Northwestern and Pittsburgh, here's two good teams, but we like Northwestern to win this game at home. Minus with Pepperdine against California. All right. Virginia over Michigan State, two strong teams here. Texas TCU over Providence. See, that's a really great line there. Well, the marginal win percentage is only 12%, but they're at home. That's a good line. That's a good line right there. Xavier over Oklahoma. This is like a toss-up though, but they're at home. So these games, this -105, you probably take it because home teams usually win, right? Anything else away that looks really interesting? I mean, you never know with any of this craziness, right? Here's a Maryland over Clemson in Clemson at +115. That's kind of interesting. Boise State at BYU, that could happen. +185. We had our Southeastern Missouri State against Lipscomb again. Is this happening again? Wasn't it the same game that we had the other day? That was flipped around where Southeast Missouri State was at home. I think it's flipped now. Cincinnati and Furman. Okay, so Furman over Cincinnati. Why is that? Yeah, I don't know. 61% is what Furman is getting. That's interesting. Maybe you take Furman +4. Maybe you take some of these teams plus the points. Boise +5. Southeast Missouri State +8.5. You could do that as well. So that's some interesting things that you can do. There's a Google Sheet. You can subscribe to this file and see all the games. And when I update it, you can see and look at my notes. Because I think I probably will play some games tomorrow because there are so many today, whatever. I'll probably play some games. Now, that's basketball, so we're moving along. Don't pay too much attention to the point projections yet. They're still coming along, and they're just filler right now. Let's talk about NFL. So, our Tuesday night game, Dallas, of course, loses to Baltimore with Lamar Jackson back. They put up a little more than we thought. Dallas scores less than we thought. Dallas's offense keeps getting inflated because Dak was there but isn't there anymore. So their offense is always a little boosted up. I took the over in this game. If you saw in the thread about this football game a couple days ago, I posted on kenbraverman.com. If you go check that out, you'll see that my ticket, I did win $567 tonight because that game hit the over. They scored some meaningless points at the end. I almost didn't get it. But because of that, I got an extra like $560 on literally on like a $50 or $60 bet or something. Like it was hilarious. So once again, crushing it. Now I added something to NFL, and we're going to talk about some NFL and ways to look at it because boy, are we getting into the heart of the season now, going into week 14, 15, 16, where teams are going to play if it matters. They're going to play hard. I got a history of the spread over the season percentage calculation going on over here. And I color coded it. This means when we're looking at the teams for the week, like this week we went 11-4. This is the history of whatever this team is against the spread when the algorithm picks it this year. So we're really good with the Giants. We were really good with the Bengals, even though they blew it this week. You would still say historically we should have taken them. We've been good with the formerly named redacted Redskins. We've been over 50% with the Rams, the Saints, the Colts, even though, yeah, they covered too this week, and the Packers. Now, how is this helpful? I haven't updated week 14 yet, but I can give you a sample look without any odds or spreads, or I haven't done anything, or I haven't updated injury report or anything, so even the point projections are not right. But what you do see is, for the games next week that it's probably picking already, it's saying, yeah, grab the Steelers minus the Bills, grab the Giants. We'll have to see what the spreads actually are because I don't have point projections in here yet. But it's interesting when you look at teams that might be on this list based on what it's doing so far. It would say, for example, stay away from the Cowboys against the Bengals. Really, you want to take the Bengals whatever happens in this game probably. The Bengals will probably cover the spread historically based on what has happened with them. So this stuff's really cool. If you wanted to see how it looks throughout the season from week 1 through 13, you could just pick one of these teams. And how were we with the Bengals? We took them 8 times and we were 6-2, right there. How were we with the Arizona Cardinals? 5-2. How are we with Atlanta? 2-3. Want to stay away from Atlanta, right? Baltimore 3-2, Buffalo 3-3, Carolina 5-3, Bears terrible 4-7. Again, they lose this week, right? Bengals 6-2, usually good. Cleveland 2-1. Cowboys 0-4. Should never take them. Shouldn't have taken them. Knowing that, I should not have taken them this Tuesday night. Denver, too many games, not winning enough of them. Detroit terrible. Packers are great. That's a good one. Houston 2-3, Indianapolis 3-3, Jacksonville 5-4 with a nice win this past week. Chiefs 2-1, Raiders 4-2, Chargers terrible. Rams better than you would think at 6-2. Dolphins pretty good at 5-2. That's really good at 5-2. Minnesota Patriots 5-4, takeable. Saints 2-1. Giants 6-1. We are so good with the Giants. They ended up winning again this week. Jets 3-3, but maybe coming alive. Steelers 6-2, but they don't cover against the Redskins because they were former name redacted because they lose. Terrible with the Niners. Should have known that. Seattle 3-1, Bucks 3-1, Titans 1-1. Only taking the Titans 2 times on the spread. Is that right? Seems low. Huh. And Washington 6-3. So anyway, really cool stuff, really interesting things. I'll have the NFL updated for week 14 and have all this stuff filled in and get it right. There's a Thursday game, right? Good gosh, this never ends. It thinks Rams over Patriots twisted, but this is not updated, so don't trust this yet. I said it, but if you're still watching this video, this is not right yet. So I'm going to have to post something on Thursday morning. I'm not going to be able to get this updated until Thursday morning sometime. And then we will see what things look like and hopefully have another really good week. Why not? We're on top of things. So good luck, everybody. May your picks be winning.